Hello, everyone. Yes, it's me again. Uh, got up very, very early this morning. Uh, just couldn't sleep anymore. It was about 3 o'clock. Yeah, maybe a little later. And I said, I'm done. I'm done trying to go back to sleep. This and that. I kind of suddenly goes in, and then I'm awake again. I'm going, okay, what's going on? So I went and looked. And the first thing that I came across, yes, I got my tablet. I said, okay, let's see what the news are. And saw a beautiful little video, someone sharing about, the extended holiday in Korea is finally over, and they're able to go see True Mother again. And it was over a couple of days ago, sounds like, sharing about, and Mother's just, oh my gosh, throughout the translation was a bit discombobulated, I want to say, but anyway, the feeling and all still came through, and it was just, by the end of it I was so encouraged. So Mother's okay, she's doing okay. 83-year-old woman in detention in South Korea over nothing. There's no charges. There are no charges. It's just all speculation that they got going on. And Mother said, continues, I didn't do it. I'm not guilty. I'm innocent. Don't know what you're talking about. Where did you get this? Anyway, so, and knowing True Mother, we got to remember, we know, Christians know, most people around the world know the story of Jesus, and on how, how do you feel? Why do people feel threatened by one person out there? Huh? Oh, dear Lord, like they're going to come and take your underwear away or something. I'm just saying. And on how is this still going on? This is 83-year-old woman. Whoa, what a threat. Yeah. Mother, true parents are a threat to everyone's conscience. Yes, everyone. That's what I would say. And if people feel threatened by their own conscience, then maybe they need to re-examine what they're doing, what they're believing, what they're supporting. Just saying. Otherwise, one just goes on and says, oh, okay, another news story, whatever, and goes on and keeps on doing the right thing. People get, that's it, such a hullabaloo over things. Anyway, Mother's words were super encouraging, and on how she's, time will reveal the truth. So let's just be patient. Keep on going. She says, keep teaching. I loved how she said, keep teaching the principles of creation and on what God's will and ideal for mankind truly is. I love it. Absolutely love it. Yes? And then the little stories about her grandchildren. One is 1-year-old, the other one 3-year-old, of the one grandson. So she's a great grandma. Yeah. In any case, and they were so cute. It was just my grandmother heart just went right, woo, yeah. And the sadness, though, that I felt as well. These little children are asking for their grandma, great grandma. They're asking for her, and are wondering, where is Mama? Yes, and so sad. That's so sad. Again, right there. Why separate a great grandma from her great grandchildren who are so close to her? And for what exactly? Yes? I think God approves. Just saying. Well, anyway, as I said, we're talking about a really good woman here. The Mother of Peace. Holy Mother Han. True Mother. Not some criminal out there. Yes? Or in there. Anyway. Just saying, it's a great message. Loved it. Loved every bit of it. courage to keep on going with this now too. Faith forward is what I say. And then I ended up cruising a little more, and I like to watch the little videos that people make. And of course, Facebook, YouTube, they all know that I am probably more conservative than liberal, so I get all the good stuff. All the good stuff. And to see people on how they, take some things on the humorous side, but boy, right on point. I love that. To see the common sense out there, people speaking up and saying in a nice way. It's not said in a first of all, the interesting thing, I can watch most of those. I'd say just about all of those videos because people like that don't use foul language. They're not degrading. What they're doing is giving common sense, saying, people out there, come on now. I saw one post on of a friend that I have here on Facebook, and he is a brother in faith. He says, getting tired of all this. Start acting your age. Yeah, I agree. So, let's get going. We are in the book of Ecclesiasticus, getting towards the end. Thank God. And 49. Still talking about the guys. Josiah. We're with Josiah. The memory of Josiah is like blended incense prepared by the perfumer's art. It is as sweet as honey to all mouths and like music at a wine feast. He took the right course of converting the people. He rooted out the iniquitous abominations. He set his heart on the Lord. In godless times, he upheld the cause of religion. Okay. There we go. There is that one. Now we are the last kings and prophets. Apart from David, Hezekiah, and Josiah, they all heaped wrong on wrong. They abandoned the law of the Most High. The kings of Judah disappeared. Well, this should not have existed in the first place. But hey, well, there we go. For they handed their power over to others. And let's remember, David done a big bad boo-boo too. Oh, well, go and read up on David, okay? It's all in the Kings of Kings and in the Chronicles. So, again, okay, I think that if you're, okay, you know what, I'm not going to get further into it. I've already said so much in all these other videos about all that. For they handed their power over to others and their honor to a foreign nation. They didn't hand their power over. They kept their power out of greed, held on to it, until it became unmanageable. Instead of trusting whom? Our heavenly parent, who should have had all the power. Yes, that was the problem. Israel often wasn't handed over to other nations. It was the people who decided as well that they would rather have what these other nations have. Let's stay true about things. Yeah? Don't depict yourself as a victim if you're actually a supporter of things. All right. The holy chosen city was burnt down. Her streets were left deserted, as Jeremiah had predicted, for they had ill-treated him. Okay. Though consecrated a prophet in his mother's womb, to tear up and afflict and destroy, but also to build up and to plant. Ezekiel saw a vision of glory with which God showed to him, above the chariot of the great winged creatures, for he mentioned the enemies in the downpour, to the advantage of those who follow the right way. As for the 12 prophets, may their bones flower again from the tomb, since they have comforted Jacob and redeemed him in faith and hope. When things go one way or the other, good or in a negative, in a positive or the negative, people like to bring up prophecies. And of course, if you're on one side or the other, right, then for one side, all things are good. Oh well, that it was prophesied like that. Regardless, and so one I have to ask myself, people like that, is why are you using prophecies to make your point? Or nope, as if it's not united. There's no unity. Prophecies don't seem to unite people. They separate them. And as far as I know, prophecies are like yep, predicting the future. No one can predict the future. Nobody can. Even Heavenly Parent does not do that. And it's in here in the Bible. I'm going to go and check exactly which part it was. But so why use prophecies? Prophecies, in my opinion, are humbug. I read enough, watched the movies they made, read enough books this and about Nostradamus and his prophecies, predictions. And you know what? I saw one thing through it, and with everyone else who did that I ended up studying a little bit. Nostradamus I studied a little more. They're visionaries. If the people keep going and continue to go in this direction, this is what will happen. Okay, one could see the outcome of that. I can plant the seed. If I water it, have it in good dirt, this and that, and it's got sunshine, most likely it'll come up unless it's a hybrid. Forget, oh no, it can still come up. It just won't produce anything. But if it's an heirloom, it will grow. It will get to certain stages, and then eventually it'll carry fruit. If I just plant the seed, it'll cover it up. It'll stay dry, this and that. It's probably not coming up, or very poorly, and then die. Oh, there you go. That's my prediction. I prophesy you that if you handle seeds in a certain way, they will do very well in the future. And if not, okay. That's just, first of all, that's experience and common sense and a vision for what there is and what we can do with what we have. Just depends on, again, how we treat it, how we grow it, how we behave, how we act. Yes? Now, prophecies, in the way that people understand them, don't exist. They're all false. I don't believe in any of them. I've never found one to be true. Not one. But what I've seen is in some people that have a great way to look, to be a visionary, to see where things are going to go if they're treated well, and where things are going to go when they're not being treated well. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. So, what did God say to one of the prophets? You want a king? People want one. Well, then give them what they want. But I'm going to tell you, it probably won't go well, because now you're turning away from me. Just saying. Zerubbabel, and Joshua. How shall we extol Zerubbabel? He was like a signet ring on the right hand. So too was Joshua, son of Josiah. They who in their days built the temple and raised the sanctuary sacred to the Lord, destined to everlasting glory. What did True Mother say? Teach about the principles of creation. What are the principles of creation? A temple with gold and gold and gold in it, where the select few get to be a part of. Or the principles of creation when it comes to our Heavenly Parent. Is it not the whole world, the universe, the cosmos, the earth, the wind, fire and water, the sun and the moon and the stars, mankind? everything that walks and flies in the earth and swims in the oceans, anything that grows. Is it not all our heavenly parent? Why do you people want to stick him in a temple? For safekeeping? Let's pull God out when we actually need him, need her. Otherwise, let's make sure we got a place to stick our heavenly parent. Yes? Again, I know why I love True Mother's message. All right. Nehemiah. Great too is the memory of Nehemiah, who rebuilt our walls which lay in ruins, erected the bolted gates, and rebuilt our houses. Okay. Retrospect. No one else has ever been created on earth to equal Enoch. For he was taken up from earth, and no one else ever born has been like Joseph, the leader of his brothers, the prop of his people. His bones received a visitation. Shem and Seth were the most honored of men, but above every living creature is Adam. Okay, that's the end of 49. All right. Again, in the way that a man depicts all these men is not really a surprise, right? Where the women. Yes? Yeah, interesting. I'm going to finish this up. The folly of men. Oh, women too. Saw a little blurb where the guy shares the story of his little kid comes and says, "Hey, Dad, where do we come from?" And he says, "Oh, we have evolved from the apes." Oh, so he goes to Mom and asks it, "Mom, where do we come from?" "Oh, we were created by God." Right? Yes? So the boy goes back to Dad and says, no. He stays with Mom. And he says, "Well, but Dad said that we have evolved from apes." She says, "Yeah, that's his side of the lineage. My side of the lineage is what I told you." I've always said, even as a kid, I couldn't quite get what makes people think that we have evolved from apes. Because they're somewhat similar and with hands and feet or something? Yes? Or I don't know. And then I have to say, then why are the apes not still evolving? As far as I know, of the animals here that are laying around here, a cat, a dog down there, that their prehistoric ancestors are gone. They're not still here evolving into little kitties and man's best friend. I'm just saying. So, a little common sense out there, please. Yes? And yeah, I get it. I do believe that when you go and study up on humanoids and on how that all started, it must have started somewhere. Well, where did in its specific species, right? Yes, not evolving from another animal. And all of these animals that we have now, they had a specific, how do you say? God put a specific set of atoms together to make each one. A cat did not evolve from a zebra, for example, though a zebra has 4 legs. Oh, they have hooves. I could use a better example than that, right? But you should get my drift, what I'm saying here, right? Yes? They all evolved into what they are now. For us to be able to live around most of them and be relatively safe, yes, is they had their own species already going. So do apes, monkeys, gorillas, right? All that type. They're all in their own species. We're not a part of that species. We started out, and I do believe in the periods of evolution. I'm not that dumb to not believe that, but I don't believe everything what they say there. So if you're an evolutionist and you're kind of sticking this Bible aside, okay, I'll give you that. But then go and study up on what actually the truth is, right? With common sense. Anyway, so no, I do not, and I never will believe, and I never taught my children that, because I did the 6 days of evolution, 6 periods of evolution compared to the 6 days of creation. In the 6 days of creation, that history, that record is much older than the knowledge of the 6 periods of evolution. Just saying. So, anyway, so there it is. And at one point then, yes, there was a great change. Yeah, great changes happened all throughout Earth's history. On the physical level, who says they can't happen on the spiritual level? Just because you can't see it, the proof is still there in the pudding somewhere, because we are a very separate species from the rest of the creation. Hence, yes, the principles of creation are very, very important to study and to know, to give you clarity, and then let that settle, so that your common sense, your heart to mind, your conscience, your subconscious doesn't struggle constantly with answers you full well know you already have. Yes? Yeah. All right. So, there it is. That's all I have to share this morning. Yes? Short one? Oh, not that short. May Heavenly Parent bless and protect you, guide you, and embrace you with love. True Mother also said, keep remembering what the desire of our Heavenly Parent is for Earth, for mankind. Yes? Yeah. Who wouldn't love to make, again, anyone in their right mind does not want to see their parents happy, their grandparents happy and taken care of? Yeah, just saying. Eldritch, my dearest brother in faith, I love you. Let's keep praying. Yes, let's keep praying. I hope you're doing well. Yes, and I hope you will get to visit our LA family there, and then I want to hear all about it. So you keep right on sending me all those messages. I love it. And I will talk to y'all another time.